Ain't this what they've been waiting for? You ready? I used to pray for times like this, to rhyme like this, so I had to grind like that, to shine like this. In a matter of time I spent on some locked up shit in the back of the paddy wagons, cuffs locked on wrists. See my dreams unfold, nightmares come true. It was time to marry the game. I said, yeah, I do. If you want it, you gotta see it with a clear eye view. Got shorty, she tryna bless me like I said hot too. Like a nigga sneeze, nigga please for them tricky squeeze, I'm getting cream. Never let them hoes get in between of what we started. Little nigga, but I'm lying hearted. They love me when I was stuck in their head. When I departed, I go to get it, I got it. Draw like I'm an artist, no crawling, went straight to walking with foreigns in my garages of foreign bitches menaging, fucking sucking and swallowing. Anything for $1, they tell me get him, I got him. I did anything with the album. I did shit with Mariah. Little nigga, I'm on fire. Icy as a hockey ring, Philly nigga on flyer. When I bought the Rolls Royce, they thought it was lease. Then I bought that new Ferrari. Hey, rest in peace. Hey, rest in peace. Rest in peace for the parking lot. Phantom so big, couldn't even fit in the parking spot. You ain't talking about my niggas. Look what you talking about. Gangsta moving silence, nigga. And I don't talk a lot. I don't say a word. I don't say a word. Not what I deserve. Hold up, wait a minute. Y'all thought it was rented? When I put the Aston Martin, y'all thought it was rented? Welcome everybody to the JP Show. I am your host, JP, and welcome back to the JP Show. Guys, we have a great show for you today. Every time I do the intros, I always get a little winded. so forgive me for a second. I need a little bit of something. So listen, we have a great show for you today, a bomb show. We're going to get it on. We're going to get straight into it. We're going to get it popping off. But before we do that, I just want to say, I got a little contest going on right now, right? So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to have like a raffle going on. So what I want everybody to like, subscribe, and comment on the show. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pick a name out of the hat, and whoever name I pick is going to win this beautiful box and Hennessy. So whoever wins is going to get this Hennessy bottle. So what I need you to do though, in order to win this Hennessy very special cognac, is I need you guys to go, you have to like, comment, and subscribe to the show. Now, if you already subscribed to the show, then you just like, comment, and share the show, okay? So once you do that, I'm gonna put your name into a hat. Once I put your name into a hat, I'm gonna auction off the raffle next week. So on next week's show, next Tuesday, I'm gonna have a hat with a bunch of names in it. And I'm gonna pull, or your name, or your YouTube ID, or your Instagram or Facebook ID. I'm gonna have a bunch of names in that hat. All you gotta do is like, comment, and subscribe to the show. If you don't subscribe to the show, if you already subscribed, all you gotta do is share the show with your contacts. Share the show, and your name automatically goes into a hat. Okay? So, again, we're going to be raffling off this Hennessy very special cognac. All right? So, let's get into the show real quick because we got a really good show. Okay? So, the first topic of today's show is, why do people sabotage a relationship, or maybe a newly formed relationship? Or why do people sabotage basically a lot of different things in life. Could be a job, it could be a relationship, or whatever the case is. When it comes down to relationship, why do people sabotage relationships? Sometimes I will say, for women, if a woman is sabotaging a relationship, there's something behind that. They're not just sabotaging to sabotage. A lot of times, a woman may say to you like like this feels too good to be true. And women have said that to me before. This feels too good to be true, because a lot of times they've been through so much bad things with prior relationships, or they've been through so much pain and agony with because, to be honest, if you meet a guy that's a great guy and he's doing certain things, he's showing who he is. If he's a great guy, he's showing that he's a great guy, and you guys are having a good time with each other. You're having fun. You're exploring life with each other. You're building that chemistry. You're building that companionship. And that's what you're supposed to be doing. That's what relationships supposed to be about, is building that companionship and that relationship and that chemistry. That's what relationships supposed to be about. But a lot of times women don't really get that, because for whatever the reason, they're dealing with bad guys, or they're dealing with guys that are bums. They're dealing with guys that has no type of energy to even want to do things, or whatever the case is. So they end up basically taking care of a lot of guys, and they don't really get to experience what it's like to be the one that's getting taken care of, and being able to have a good time and to have fun and just go and lay out on the beach and just think about this and think about that and just have a good time. They don't get to do that. So a lot of times you hear from women and they say, this feels too good to be true. And women will end up self-sabotaging the relationship because they don't know what it's like. They don't know what it's like to have a good time, to meet a man and have to have fun, and not to have to worry about, is he cheating, or is he lying to me, or is he, doing things that he's not supposed to be doing? Is he, what I'm saying? Like, oh, he's being aggressive to me. He's being mean to me. They really always have to think about those things with guys, and they never really just have to just be themselves and to have fun. So women consciously, and unconsciously, they self-sabotage relationships because they don't even know what it's like. They have no clue. So a great guy could be right in front of them and could be into them, and the guy could want to get to know them and have a good time with them, but because they've been in so many bad relationships, they don't even know, like, this is the way it's supposed to be like this. You and the guy supposed to be having a good time. You know what I'm saying? But they be so nervous. The energy just be off with them, and they just be so nervous, and they be thinking, the thing with women is they constantly thinking. When we're asleep, guys, when we're asleep and we're in our bed and we're turning over and we're relaxing and we're just snoozing and we got critters coming out of our eyes, women are up thinking. They're literally, seriously, they are sitting up and they're just thinking about, I wonder this and I wonder that. Is that true that he really likes me? Or I don't know if he really likes me, because the last person that really liked me, he smacked me upside of my head. So this guy, he didn't smack me. He didn't abuse me. He wasn't aggressive to me. So I'm not sure if this guy really likes me. I think this guy is trying to play me, because he would have smacked me already if he liked me. And that's the mentality that some of them have. You know what I'm saying? Because they never had a guy that really enjoyed them and had it. So they be up. Women are thinkers, man. Like they overthink. And that's sometimes what happens when the sabotage, they overthink. When you overthink a situation, you can fuck a situation up. And that's real talk. So a lot of times with women, because they haven't had a great experience with guys, especially like in the New York area, I'm just hearing from women that guys are just pretty much douchebags in New York. So they haven't really had a great experience with guys. So they end up overthinking the situation, to the point where, they'll make a wrong move, and that wrong move will turn into a self-sabotage. On the other side with men, give me 1 second. On the other side with men, men have the ingredients of a self-sabotage. Men are when it comes to self-sabotage, there's a picture of a man in the dictionary. Like that, they are the best. Listen, if you wanted, you couldn't even pay a guy to self-sabotage because he does it for free. He does it for free. He self-sabotages everything. It's not even like something that he's trying to do. He's just good at it because that's what his whole life has been about. You know, with guys have to work so much harder, especially black men. Black men has to work so much harder for the littlest things. You know what I'm saying? So guys don't really know how to just, when they see something and it's something good, to just roll with it, take it, and nourishment. Because a lot of times when you get something good, you know, it's like anything, you gotta nourish it. You gotta treat it well, and it'll bloom. You know what I'm saying? But guys don't know how to do that because guys they're always trying to get out of the hole. You know what I'm saying? They fighting to get out of the hole. So once they get out of the hole and they free themselves from whatever tyranny it is that's causing them trouble, you know what I'm saying? They bring that trouble with them. So they travel. Guys literally travel with trouble on their minds and on their backs. You know, they could get out of it, but it's still with them. So they'll meet a woman or whatever like that, and it's just automatic. It's just self-sabotage because some guys, and now I'm not speaking for all guys. There's some guys out there they know how to treat a woman and they'll do everything that they got to do for the woman or whatever the case is. But for the most part, and I always say this too, it really depends on the area that you live in. You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like if you're like Midwest or down south, guys tend to be a better example of a man. It's just for whatever it is, guys in the Midwest and South, they know how to treat a woman. It could be the parents down there. They're bringing their kids up better than what they are up here. I will say up here, you know, in New York, kids have more to deal with. As you're a child, the child has more to deal with up here than down south. Now, people that really know me, I know I live down south and I've lived up here. I was born and basically raised up here. When I was a certain age, I went down south or whatever. So, down south, you really don't have too much to worry about. Like, if you wanted your kids to go to a great high school and a great college and to be raised, you know, freely and have, you know, a front yard and a backyard and good friends and place to just be free and to play and have fun, it would be down south. Because down south, you just got room to roam and have a good time. Up here, when you're raising a child, the child doesn't really have room to roam. And so they're constricted to maybe a 1 to 5 block radius. And in that 1 to 5 block radius, you have a number of different things. You may have killers, you may have rapists, you may have drug dealers, you know, you may have priests, you may have, you know, good things, you may have community leaders. But in that 5 block radius, you got a whole assortment of all different types of things. So your child literally could be walking down the street next to a priest, and he also could be walking down the street right next to a guy that just murdered like 5 people. You know what I'm saying? It's kind of not like that down south. Down south, you're kind of like more free to expand and to grow so I'm saying all that to say, here, as your child continues to grow and grow and become an adult, they're taking on all these different things. You know what I'm saying? And so with men, you know, men self-sabotage a lot of things because they never really had nothing. And they had to get out the hole. They're constantly fighting, constantly the whole life. Listen, I'm telling you, I can even speak from my experience. My experience, you're constantly fighting to get out of a hole. You're working. I mean, your whole life, you're working upfield. You're working uphill to try to get out of this hole. You're fighting. And by the time you get out of the hole, you're tired as hell. you're like, whoo, whoo, whoo. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have time to breathe. And all of a sudden, let's say all of a sudden you meet somebody that's a good person and a good woman or whatever. And so you don't fought your whole life to get out of that hole. And now you're looking at this good woman and you're like, and you got that baggage on your back. You never had examples of a good man and and that man treating a good woman. I remember when I was in my 20s, early 20s. I had to be like 23, 24. I had my first, at 23, 24, I had my first good example of a man treating a woman like a queen at like 23, 24. All my experiences before that with men and women was just bad. I mean, I used to see men punching women in the face in the middle of the street. In the middle of the street, I seen a dude punch a woman in the face. I used to see like things on my block and in my neighborhood, like killings, dudes, running down on females or females running down on dudes and punching them and fighting and kicking and shootings and killings and all. So you grow up around all this type of stuff, and then, you know what I'm saying, you get to a point where that's what you think that this is. If you don't have the mental capacity to like overcome that and overthink that, you would think that this is what you're supposed to do. And a lot of times with men, they grew up in households where their dad is probably abusive to their mother, maybe mentally abusive, physically abusive, emotionally abusive. So they grow up in these homes and the father is not a good example. Maybe their brothers or uncles is not a good example. They go out in the street, they're walking down the street with murderers and killers and drug dealers and all these different other type of people in the hood. They're not good examples. You see them girls getting punched in the face in the middle of the street. That's not a good example. So what does the guy have a good example to follow when he's dating a woman? He has the killers, the drug dealers, the thieves, his dad punching his mother in the face, some guy punching a girl in the face, and that's what they have for their example. So when they get into a relationship, that's how they self-sabotage. If they're not able to overthink that, overcome that, and move past that mentally. If they're not able to move past that mentally and have the mental capability to say to themselves, I don't want to be like this, I don't want to act like this, this is abnormal, this is not the normal way to treat a person. If they don't have that ability, there you go. There goes self-sabotage. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is. And that's my perspective from the women's standpoint and from the men's standpoint. You know what I'm saying? So this is what a lot of dudes have going on. Now, listen, we're going to get into my second topic. So what I want to say to you guys is you could go on Instagram. My Instagram is the JP Show 1. Uno. Uno, dos, tres, cuatro, cinco, seis. Uno. So the JP Show 1. If you guys want to DM me a topic, or if you want to, leave something, I always post like little clips or whatever on the show. If you guys want to go on there and check out my Instagram, the JP Show 1. Now, also on Facebook, I'm going to leave everything in the description. On Facebook, you guys can find me, John Pierre. I'm going to end up changing that title because I want you guys to be able to just find me really, really quick on Facebook. But it's probably like 1,000 John Pierres on Facebook. So on my Facebook is John Pierre, is my Facebook name. But I have a group, the JP Show group. So I'm going to put that in the description as well. And so what I've been doing the last couple of weeks on my group page is I've been polling people on what they think the next topic should be. Some of you guys that are listening to this, that's on my group page, the JP Show group page, you guys already know what I'm talking about. So I've been putting up a poll every show about what do you think the show should be about, and I have my own takes. This week I put up Sabotage, and I think I put something else up. But a young lady, she puts up, she wanted me to talk. Actually, she didn't win. I'm just doing this because I appreciate her participation on the page. She put up why don't men take women out on real dates? So I appreciate her participating and putting up that content, and I just want to bless her, and I'm gonna answer her question. So she says, why doesn't men participate? Why don't men take women out on real dates? So here we go. This is what I think. This is my perception and my take on why men don't take women out on dates or real dates. So, for one, I'm going to tell all the ladies out there that men don't want to go on a date. Period. They don't like going on dates. That's not men thing. Men things are like playing basketball, going fishing, watching football, going on trips, or taking a trip to see like a sports game, going to the Super Bowl, or going to the Giants stadium to watch the Giants play football, or going to see the Knicks. Oh, going to Madison Square Garden. Like, that's, ask a dude around New York, yo, you want to go to the Garden? They're going to be like, yo, ask a dude, which one you rather do? Go out on a date or go to the Garden? Really? Is that, they're gonna be like, really? Is that a real question? They're gonna want to go to the Garden. They don't want to go out on a date. So guys want to go. The guys, their thing, they don't want to go out on dates. They don't do dates. That's women thing. Women like to eat a lot. They eat a lot and a lot and a lot. Women like to eat. And so, I'm not saying guys don't like to eat, but guys don't really like to eat at restaurants. You know what I'm saying? So, this is what it is. Women have their things that they like to do. I already told you what guys' things are to do fishing and sports and stuff like that. That's guys' things. That's what they like to do. Women things are, they like to go out. They like to go on dates. They like to go get their hair done and their nails done. They like to go shopping. Women like to do those type of things. They get their feet done, all that type of stuff. They like to make a day out of it. Go brunch, go museums, go do all this different thing. And those things are really cool. They like to do that. Guys like to do sports activities, fishing and hunting, and go watch a game and all this type of stuff. Go to the movies, or like action movies. Guys like action. Want to see bazookas blow up. Blow everything up. You know what I'm saying? So once we know who is who and what is what, then we could kind of dissect on why guys don't like doing this and why women like doing that type of stuff. You know what I'm saying? Guys, on one hand, they don't like going out, and two, guys have had to take women out for a very long period of time. So women might say, why don't guys like to take us out? Because he's probably taken out a female the last 30 years of his life, and he's probably tired of it. A lot of times, I speak to guys all the time. Guys get tired of doing these things over and over and over and getting the same outcome out of it. Nothing. You know what I'm saying? So let's take me for instance. I always do this. Let's take me for instance. I'm 38, about to be 39 in December. So let's say 21, since I was 21 years old. So I've taken women out since I was 21 years old. I'm 39. So that's like 18 years. So imagine if you're a woman, imagine taking a guy out for 18 years, taking not just one guy, but different guys. So imagine if you go on a date, let's say in 1 year, let's say you go on 7 dates. You go on 7 dates in 1 year, and you gotta take out 7 different guys in 1 year. So let's just say it's $100 a plate. So $100 a plate, you just spent 1 year, you spent $700 a plate. For 7 plates to take out 7 guys. Now let's times that by 18 years. I don't have the math on me, but I know it's a lot of money. Now, let's say you times that by 18 years and you're getting nothing out of it. You haven't got a relationship out of it. You haven't got a marriage or a fiance, an engagement out of it. You haven't got a marriage out of it. So you're constantly, doing the same thing and getting the same outcome. So a lot of guys, I'm telling you, I talk to dudes all the time. If a dude, and that's why you see dudes when they go to the club or they go to a lounge and they buy a girl a drink, they follow that girl all around. The girl could have been drunk the drink like 2 hours ago. He's still sitting there by her hip. He right there. He is not gonna let, because imagine how many drinks he's bought. You know what I'm saying? Like guys now it's like, yo, they want something out of this. You know what I'm saying? They got to get something out of it because they haven't been getting anything out of all these dates. Imagine. Now, women, you guys are always talking about, you want to go on a date. I want to go on a date. You got to take me on a date. Oh, wait, if you don't take me out on a date, you got to stay a date. I need my date. I want my date. Like, listen. Take a guy on a date. Like I said, take a guy on a date for a whole year. A different guy for a whole year. 7 dates. Now, let's see how much you would like that. If you're constantly taking guys on dates and you're getting nothing out of it. Though, I don't want to hear about you took a guy on a date once in your life. I don't want to. That's nothing. Yeah, you spent a little couple of dollars or whatever on your one date or whatever. Or you took your boyfriend out. That's it. That doesn't. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about you took your boyfriend out on your date. I'm talking about having, let's say from the age of 18, having to go out on date after date after date after date, and the guy is paying for these dates, not the female. The guy is paying for these dates. Now, it may be a little different now. I guess guys are saying the hell with the dates. If you want to go on a date now you're going to have to go Dutch. Because guys are smarter. Guys is like, yo, I wasted so much money for so long of my life. I don't want to pay for these dates no more. Now we're going to do Dutch or whatever. Whoever does that, however they do that, that's cool. Do whatever feels right for you. But just know that you see all these different things coming up. Guys wanting to stay home. They don't want to do nothing. Guys don't want to go out on dates. Guys, because they've been doing certain things for so long, a lot of men are just tired. They can't do it no more. I gave you an example. For instance, for me, I've been going out on the dates for damn near 20 years. 20 years. Women, take a second. Take a step back and just think about that for a second. Take one step back and think about that. You've been on a date. You've been dating for 20 years. You've been paying for dinners for 20 years. You get 7 dates per year. $100, let's say. Some of it could be more than 100, some of it could be less. But let's just say $100 per date. 7 dates a year. Would you want to keep going out on dates? Some of you women like, yeah, you don't really care. You're like, I just want what I want. A lot of people, they just want what they want. But they're not thinking about logic. They're not thinking about mathematics. But a lot of guys are saying, yo, we could go out on a date. I'm just not willing to do the same thing over and over and over again. I'm not willing to go out on a date and spend $100, $200, $300 on a date when I know I'm not going to get nothing out of it. For an example, and I told somebody this not too long ago. I took a girl, this is maybe about 10 years ago. I took a girl out on a date. We was there having a good time. On the date, the girl was setting up her next date with another guy on the date that I was on. Now, guys have complained to me about all the stuff women be doing on these dates. And I'm sure women, you got your own testimonies about what guys be doing on dates and how disrespectful they be or whatever. But a lot of dudes be telling me how disrespectful women be on dates or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I have about 10 examples of women just being real doing crazy stuff on dates. Like I just said, the girl was setting up her second date. I don't know how many dates she went on this night, but our date was first. On our date, she was confirming her second date with some other bozo or whatever. And he probably didn't know that she went on a previous date already. So he getting ready. He's at home showering and everything, getting all ready or whatever to go on his date and whatever. She might have set up another date after him. Who knows? But women do things like this. And this is what turns, another thing that turns guys off with dating. We're taking women out on these dates. So now guys are like, another thing too is women, when you go out on these dates, try not to eat the guy's food up. Like, like, come on. Like, try to come. I know you hungry. We all hungry. Listen, ladies, we all hungry out here, okay? We all these, but why you gotta? I had this one date. The girl I ordered like, went to like a soul food. It was like it's like a cool soul food spot or whatever. And so I ordered like some mac and cheese and some other stuff or whatever. I don't even remember. I remember the mac and cheese. Yo, literally, I had to basically just take my bowl of macaroni and cheese and just put it on her plate because she just kept going, like, she wouldn't even eat her food. She just kept like eating and I'm like, yo, do you want to order another macaroni? She's like, no, I'm fine. Yeah, you fine. How about me? I'm not fine. How about me? How about you eating up my macaroni and cheese? How about me? She's like, oh no, I'm good. I'm just over here. I got my food. I'm gonna eat your food up, but I got my food. Whatever. And I'm like, come on, man. Like, really? Like, I took you. You must be really hungry. Like, if you this hungry, maybe you should have ate before you left the house. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of times we got that situation. We got women that be doing crazy stuff on dates, and I'm telling y'all, I've talked to some dudes and they told me some wild stories about taking women out on dates. So that's why you have right now a lot of guys, they rather meet you at Starbucks or meet you at a place where maybe you could get a Danish and a coffee or a tea or something like that, meet you at the park, something light, something friendly, you know what I'm saying? So you guys can get to know each other without going so hard on the first date or second date or whatever, just because you got to start asking the question, is it about the meal or is it about me? What is it about? Do you want to eat or do you want to get to know me? Because if you want to get to know me, it doesn't take $100 meal. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could pull up to your house. We could sit out in front of your house and we could just talk and you could get to know me like that. So, ladies, answer this question. Leave me a comment. Answer this question for me. When you want to go out on a date, is it about the date or is it about the guy? Because you guys seem like it's more about the date. Because you don't need a date to get to know me. You don't need a $150, $200 dinner to get to know me. You don't need that. I mean, we could literally meet up every day, every morning. We could meet up and go for a walk every morning. So what is it about? You want to eat? Because if you want to eat, a lot of guys that can cook. You can go to a guy's house, he cook you up a meal. If you want to eat that bad, or why can't you cook? Why can't? I have been hearing from the dudes that a lot of females, they can't cook. They either can't cook or they don't cook. So do you want to go out so you can eat and you can spend the guy's money and you could finally get something to eat for the day? Or do you want to get to know the guy? Because like I said, if you want to get to know the guy, I come to your house, you come to my house, or we can meet at the park, or we can meet at the bakery. Oh, it's a bunch of nice bakeries in New York City. Nice, beautiful bakery. We sit at the bakery, order some Danishes or some bagels or whatever, some coffee, just chill, hang out, you know what I'm saying? Have us a little breakfast, talk. We can do that every morning. We don't even got to do that once a week like you do a dinner. We could do that every morning. So what is it? Answer that question for me, ladies, in the comments. Is it about the dinner or is it about the guy? That's the JP show, guys. That is the JP show for today. Now, I just want to go back over real quick before I go. I got this. This is yours. It's mine right now, but it's yours. It's going to be yours. So, if you want it, like, comment, and subscribe to the show. If you already subscribed to the show, then like, comment, and share. Okay? Also, what I want you to do is go to my Instagram, the JP Show 1, and what I want you to do is I want you to say, leave me a DM and say, completed. You got that? Go to the JP Show 1, the JP Show 1, and say, completed. I know you completed the task. Your name is gonna go directly into the raffle. I'm having a raffle next week. Next week, some of you guys are gonna miss the raffle because y'all not gonna watch this all the way into the end, and y'all gonna miss this raffle. Some of you guys are probably gonna watch only 2 minutes of the show, and you're not gonna watch all the way to the end, and you're gonna miss the raffle. So, like, comment, subscribe. Once you do all that, or like, comment, share if you already subscribed. Once you do that, go to the JP Show, hit me in the DM, and say, completed. Check. All right? Yo, that's the JP Show for today. We did it. Oh, I'm not even home, guys. I'm at a secret location. Secret location. Ooh, maybe I'll make this my location for every week. You never know. Check you out next week's show, guys. I love you. Raffle next week. Holla, the JP Show. We out.